This week on The Big Room.
That's not even the craziest part of this movie. The craziest part of this movie is that Jeff Goldblum uploads a virus to the mothership, and that's what blows it up. A virus. He just connects.
That's what takes the shields down.
Yeah. Whatever. He brings a laptop to space and uploads a virus.
Oh, it's dumb.
That's ridiculous.
There's no Wi-Fi in space.
It's closer to the satellites.
Well, and
it would be stronger, right?
That's true. It's the fastest connection.
Welcome back to the big room. Happy birthday, America! It's America Day.
America.
4th of July, except for today. It's
Hot dogs, beer.
What day does this come out? Like the
second.
2nd of July. So
That's when the movie we watch starts.
Oh.
On the
Also,
2nd of July.
The day it was released.
Oh, we planned this so well.
1996, 28 years?
There's no way to do the math.
Wait, 96?
96.
28 years, yeah.
If you're watching this, it was exactly 28 years.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we watched.
Look at us.
Bury the lead. We watched Independence Day.
Right.
America's pre 9/11 hubris, the movie.
Anyways, we watched those.
Oh, no.
This is a movie. There you
It
go.
is a movie.
Yep.
It's a movie that only America could make. Only America
absolutely.
would make a movie.
I don't know why anyone else would make this
where
movie.
we go. We had one Independence Day against the Brits. Let's have another one where we save the whole world this time.
Of course. America's
Up
always
the ante
saving
a
the
little
world.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the towers fell and we decided to
Never
not.
forget.
Yeah, whatever. 9/11.
I feel like now alien movies end more solemnly. Like usually there's more destruction or less hope at the end. You know?
This one kind of ended with "It's in the way that you use it," and we played guitar into the sunset.
Yeah.
It's in the way that you kill the alien.
Ugh.
You gotta kill the aliens.
Bruce
gotta
Springsteen's
kill the
born in the
aliens.
USA
I mean,
plays.
spoilies.
What? Spoilers.
Spoilies.
This movie's almost as old as me.
Wow.
I don't like that argument for spoiling a movie, but if someone's listening to this, they're stupid if they haven't watched it.
That's
no,
true.
it's not even that. It's an alien movie. How do you think it ended?
Well, that's true.
No, it's certainly not going to end with, and then everyone died in the whole world.
That's true. It's
That would've
called
been fun, though.
Independence.
Happy
I would have liked that.
Happy 4th of July.
I think
lost.
Independence Day is a hack title.
Wow.
I
Why?
do.
Explain.
Why?
Just because it's
Like cheap?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's hack.
He gives his speech.
I was going to say, but the president says it in the,
This
at
is
the end of
our
the speech.
Independence Day.
I do love it when a movie says its own name.
Hack. It's a lob. Of course, like if this
That-
happened on, well, okay,
That was actually an improv line, so
I know.
Wait,
The applause was also impromptu.
yeah. So that means it was good, not a hack.
Well, so if this movie,
Everyone disagrees with you.
what would you call it if it took place on like June 28th? Aliens,
but
exclamation point.
Invasion Day.
Yeah,
But it doesn't, though. It's
like Gears of War has Emergence Day, but it's Independence Day because
Annihilation Day.
yeah,
Ooh,
something
A Day.
A
No.
Day, like
I was thinking D Day, A Day,
Alien Day,
Alien Day,
Annihilation Day. Who cares?
Also, it's-
Asshole Day.
a day.
A day.
a day. It's been a day.
You brought up see, and then look into the camera, and then just a
It's
foghorn
been
plays.
a day. Try harder.
Yeah. Throw that to a room next time. That needs punch
Yeah.
up. You mentioned the president in this movie who has the most hair gel ever.
It works.
It was the 90s.
It works.
It works.
The
He's so
first-
presidential.
The establishing shot we see from the president is he's woken up from bed with his daughter who's in bed and the TV's on the floor. All of the TVs in this movie are on the floor except for Will Smith's, which is small and on a counter.
I didn't notice.
But TVs used
Shocker.
to be heavy, so they went on the floor. I guess. I don't remember. Mine goes on the wall soon. Ha. He's got perfect hair. He just woke up. Perfect hair.
Yeah.
He's got Lego hair. It wouldn't move in a wind tunnel.
Lego
He's
hair.
got the most gel ever. Mr. President, you need more gel. His hair is as gelled as Donald Trump's skin is orange.
Oof.
Ooh. Well, he's the president. He's got to be camera ready.
I guess.
at a moment's notice.
In case
Yeah.
aliens
In case
invade,
aliens
and he has to
invade.
make a statement to the
Yeah.
country.
He's like
Yeah.
a young, hip, cool president too, which the last young, hip,
God, I
cool
want that
president.
so bad.
The last one we had, we shot in the head.
That was one of my notes. Yeah, I was like, we haven't had a young president.
Obama wasn't necessarily young.
Old, I guess.
He was young and
He was
cool.
young comparatively.
Comparatively, yeah, everyone was young.
Yeah,
I forgot about Obama. Sorry, bro.
Wow.
Come on the
How
show.
could you-
Call in.
come on the show.
We're gonna make one of his lists at the end of the year.
He's
He's got like his
podcast list.
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Oh, if Obama, if you're listening, email us at thebigroompod@gmail.com.
I was gonna try to do an impression, but I feel like that's a terrible idea.
Don't
so
do
I'm not gonna.
Sasha, Malia, would you like to watch Independence Day 2?
That's
pretty good.
pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
Better than my attempt was gonna be.
What was your attempt going to be?
I was just, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Can't put
I
him
don't
on
want
the
to get
spot
canceled.
now.
So
Yeah.
What? Yo, I'm Barack Obama.
No, I just didn't think it was gonna be good. Like it wasn't gonna be.
My name is Obama, and I'm here to say
I'm here to say.
I watch Independence
Watch
Day
Independence
every
Day.
day.
The aliens came on Independence Day. It's like oh
I got in
no.
one little fight, and my mom got scared. I did love the
God.
Oval Office scene where like the shit's hitting the
no.
fan,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
And everyone's in the Oval Office gathered in front of a Zenith TV that's on the floor, and that's just so you can't get more 90s than that.
Also, I want to know what all those people were doing. There's
Love is
so many people in the Oval Office screaming and yelling and throwing papers, like 40, 50 people.
I can tell you.
What are they talking
I'll
about?
tell you exactly what they're doing. Wasting our taxpayer money.
You're right.
That's exactly what they're doing.
They even have a guy that just turns on the TV. That's his whole job.
So much product.
So I wanted to ask Carl, because you guys hadn't seen this.
No.
Carl, you thought you had seen parts of it.
I'd seen parts of it. Like I knew about when they got to the end with Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum's character like docked in the station, the alien kind of looking around. I remember that, but everything else was like, oh, okay, I remember this is new. So,
Yeah.
what was your question?
Well, I just wanted to talk about that. I watched this movie like early high school. I feel like it was a movie my parents were like, "Oh man, this movie was so awesome!" Like, you know, they would put this on in Jurassic Park and Sixth Sense,
Okay.
and The Matrix, and all these
Let's
things.
pump those brakes.
Just like 90s movies they would show us. This was in that folder of like, it's family movie night. Let's watch this.
Should it be in
This was under
folder?
family movie night.
When I was in high school, yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know. My parents really liked it.
Maybe it's my nostalgia because I just watched this movie as she mentioned, and I'd seen Jurassic Park when I was a kid. But Jurassic Park feels approximately 10,000 times better than this movie. I'd say, like maybe
I've only seen it once.
Dinosaurs
billion.
existed. We don't know if aliens exist.
Tom DeLonge thinks they do,
Well,
and he's in a band. He would know.
he would know.
They've got a song called "Aliens Exist." Argue with that?
I can't.
I can't either.
If
You're
it's produced, I can't. Yeah.
No, so yeah, this is like
I don't-
Oh, Will Smith's like breakthrough role.
Yeah.
This was
His first movie, right?
his
Yeah.
first. Sorry, his
First-
breakthrough film role. I think he had done maybe a part or two, but this
he had
is his
done a
first
couple,
lead.
but he was mainly known for Fresh Prince.
He was mainly known for French Prince. So it's comedy, haha. He's the funny guy that raps. I think he raps quite well. In that like '90s style that's like super dated these days. But now he's known for slapping Chris Rock, which is sad. But
I feel like people are kind of moving away from that.
I hope so.
They should, because it's more. I think his horrible
I still think
life
it was
is more to blame.
scripted.
That's a fun conspiracy theory. So yeah, this was he did seem like, how do I put this?
Good on-screen presence.
He
for a
seemed
movie.
like
Seasoned.
movie Will Smith.
Yeah.
Like hit the ground
immediately.
running.
He just went
Yeah.
and it's what did it for me, even though that it makes no sense geographically, was the Bonneville Salt Flats scene where he's like dragging the alien and like, what's up, bit? Like, like
Should have
giving
been at
it,
a barbecue.
Yeah.
giving in the business. I'm like, oh, this is like Will
And
Smith.
what is that smell?
Not in the script.
Really?
Not in the script. The what is that smell? He said that because the Bonneville flats actually smell bad. It's all the salt
Interesting.
and soil is
So you just improv that?
well, yeah, it's a dead lake bed.
That's excellent.
It was a lake like thousands or millions of years ago. Everything is decayed, fallen into the sediment. When it gets hot enough, the gross dead organic matter smell rises through the salt. So he was literally smelling like prehistoric shrimp stank.
Prehistoric shrimp.
And so, on take
Title of the episode.
Yeah, on take 45, he's like, "What does that smell?" And it's good reaction. Leave it in the script.
Yeah.
This movie
I think-
also, like, as another fun fact that I'm going to steal from Nick's phone, is that this had the most like models, like scale models of any movie, and that record will likely never be broken because we went to CGI like pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah, it had more camera models than any other 2 films combined.
Okay,
Like it
that's
wins
it.
by a long shot.
Wins by a load. Yeah.
And they were saying like because of technology, they're probably never going to have to do that again.
Yeah.
So it'll probably hold that record.
And there
forever.
was CGI. Every time you see a
cool.
plane or helicopter fly, like that was CGI. So all the planes and all the spaceship stuff, but like all the buildings that blew up were scale models. I actually had a note when the alien ship does its first like blue death ray, like the very first one, where it parks right over the hippies and goes, "Bonk, no more hippies." And I was like, "Yeah."
Which Cameron was
There you
like, Cameron's like, I hope it's a
victory.
giant laser. I hope it's a giant laser that just annihilates them. And I was just kind of over there like, it is.
Well, it's because I really don't like, and it's a trope that's used, like, for example, in Fallout 3 with Megaton, and in other Fallout media with like, worshiping the atom, like they worship the atom bombs that killed them. I just find that like really simpleton mindset of we're gonna pray to the thing that is our demise. Like I always root for those people to get killed. So I was like, these dumb, stupid, stinky, sign-waving hippies who were told
earned
not
it.
to go there.
Also, how do you just get to the top
Yeah.
of that building so
No problem.
I don't know. How do you get into the
easily? I don't know if
Capitol?
was it
I mean-
was it a we know where they would be on January 6th.
Yeah, on the Capitol.
Like they had other concerns about security than people getting into a building.
That's
though,
true.
to
It
be
was
fair.
a chaos
Yeah.
day.
like
But not
I
enough
did have
chaos to make the
one
strippers not go
question,
to work.
You got to
Yeah.
strippers.
How long? Speaking of going to work, how long would a spaceship have to be in the sky for you guys to be like, I'm not doing anything? Like I'm not
half
going to
a
work. I'm not
second.
paying rent.
I'm not paying rent.
As soon
I don't
as
have to pay
see it,
rent.
I'm not doing anything.
All right. To be fair, I
don't
already
know.
don't do anything. So I'd probably still be in my house like whatever. You know what I mean?
This
And I
might
think-
as well
make
happen.
Make it quick.
I think that answer for Floridians is especially poignant because like giant hurricanes come all the time and we're like,
ah.
True.
Well, I
yeah.
love in these movies, I always feel like Florida gets off pretty easily. Like, there's another movie by the same director where, like, the whole northern hemisphere freezes over, but, like, Florida's fine.
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
This
But
dude
Florida's
just-
fine.
I love that movie.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
never seen it. This dude's niche though seems to be disaster-y, alien-y films.
Blech.
Like he just
Yeah.
made a bunch of them.
He
What else
was
did he
that,
do?
2012.
2012.
Day After
That's the
Tomorrow.
one.
He did The
2012
Patriot
's
with
the-
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, which
The one
Which
where they're
is
in a
not.
plane and they're flying and trying to get away from like everything exploding.
It's
John
like an
Cusack.
earthquake. Yeah, John Cusack.
it's the Mayan
Okay.
calendar's
Yeah, yeah,
ending,
yeah.
and yeah.
I'm glad that didn't come out to be true. That would have been.
Yeah, thank God.
Well,
Yeah, but hey,
Fine.
all the dumbest people I know on Facebook thought 2012 was going to happen.
No.
And I was just like, you people vote. Because I couldn't yet. I was 17 in 2012. Be smarter than grown people. Hilarious. I had a point. So when the big blue stream comes down
Yeah.
and annihilates the hippies, I got so distracted by my love of hippie death. I like real hippies, kind of. Sort of.
Certain types of hippies. There's
Did you
good
watch
hippies and
Once
bad
Upon a Time
hippies.
in Hollywood?
No.
I wonder-
And
Because
you would
here's
love
the-
it.
Here's the deal. I won't.
Oh boy.
I won't because I know how it ends. And I'm not even going to say it if you want to watch it.
I definitely
won't
want to
say
watch it.
but I know how it ends. Because
That's
I,
Tarantino,
The
right?
hippie thing got me
it's,
for you. I
it's
was like, okay.
Tarantino, but I'm obsessed
I
with.
still want to watch all of his.
I fell in a wormhole once of the real life events that the movie ends with. So to see them do a riff on that, I'm just like, okay. But I have a freaking point about this laser beam.
Yes.
So it's blue. I think it's Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
I think
is
so.
the first one, and then boom, destruction, annihilation. All the buildings blow up, and Will Smith's girl is fine somehow. Whatever.
She dodges into a tunnel or out of a tunnel, I guess.
dodges into
Yeah,
a tunnel.
and the dog just barely makes it.
But he
like-
makes
Apparently,
it.
fire doesn't go around curves?
I want to talk about the fire.
It's not a ghost.
I want to hear about the laser.
The fire's same thing. Okay. So I actually wrote down. Let me find it. Maybe I didn't write it down. Shit.
Talking about the color of the fire?
Yes.
Is that where we're going with this?
Maybe I just said it out loud and didn't write it down. I wanted to write down, and I guess I didn't, that I wrote down, if I was directing this movie, I would have wanted the fire to be blue too, to make it cement that it was otherworldly. But then I realized, you know what? They were probably blowing up real models, and real explosions aren't blue.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's the explanation.
They
Just
couldn't have-
adjust the color.
they couldn't have
Color
made
It's
them
just,
blue.
it's just
Yeah.
a slider.
It was the
In
it
Premiere.
was the 90s. I don't know.
Slider Premiere.
In Premiere, yeah. Sony Vegas. They just make that blue. It's just control select orange, make it blue. Go Gators.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the effects. So, and then I think in one of them, some skyscraper blows up. Maybe it's the Empire State Building.
I think it was.
I think
yeah.
it's so the Empire State Building blows up, right? And at the very end of the movie, when drunk guy that I want to talk about for like half of this episode,
Russell.
when Russell flies his
Russell,
plane
hero.
into the alien beam, right, and that explodes.
Legend.
That is the Empire State Building shot upside down. That's how they save money.
They
on that.
really phoned it in on the
They
last
just
half
took
of
that
this movie.
scene and went.
Yeah.
The last half of this movie was real rough.
You know why? It's because they went. We spent all of our money on models.
And we spent all of the
And
story
we're
on the
done.
interesting part in the first hour.
It was a lot of buildup, though. There's a
It
lot.
really was. They took a
lot of
long time to
buildup.
get going with
A lot
this.
of conversations.
I don't mind that though. I like a slow
No, I don't
simmer.
either.
I think that once the aliens showed up, once we went to Area 51 and we saw Data from Star
Okay.
Trek, that's when the movie.
Oh my god.
Who?
Yeah. Amazing. I recognize.
I know
it. I'm
the
like,
character,
Who is
I
this
don't-
guy?
Brent Spiner, so he's in Next Generation, so Jean-Luc
okay.
Picard, Star Trek, not Shatner.
Which is the
Yeah.
only Star Trek I've seen.
Which one? Next Gen?
Just that one. That's the only one I've seen. I started like going through that for some reason. I don't
did
even
a
know why. Which,
couple
like I think I'm on like season
seasons.
4.
I
3.
am in 3, I think. I did a couple seasons of original series, and I love
Mm-hmm.
it because it's campy as all get out.
It's very campy, but it's fun.
Which the first season of Next Gen kind of feels like that. And then it comes into its own. But yeah, he plays Data, which is the if you've seen original series,
Yeah.
it's their Spock equivalent,
Okay.
but it's an android that doesn't quite understand humanity quite, so he doesn't get things like sarcasm, he doesn't understand inside jokes, like, so that's the inhumanity. It's not like Spock where I am basically I have no emotions, like live long and I'm a Vulcan.
Yep.
But he's C-3PO-y.
Seems like he kind of wants to know what people expect.
And then
where
in this
Spock doesn't
movie-
seem like he does.
In this movie they just went mad scientist trope, go down
Yep.
to the hair.
was
Yeah.
quite annoying.
But it
Yeah.
worked for me because I just went,
I
damn.
liked him. I liked his character because he was just so
Nope.
enthusiastic about learning.
dude,
He
you're
was
with the
just like, it's been a
president.
really
Calm
exciting few
down.
days.
That's when the
like,
movie slowed down for me, but I think it kind of part of my beef is with the setting, and they can't help it. It's inescapable because they made it in the 90s. So we're bound to 90s technology and 90s
Yeah.
understandings of where we think technology is going to go. And I think that harms us in the plot in a couple ways. One of the ways is like, so you're telling me the alien ships are communicating with each other in a method of communication that an IBM laptop from 1996 can not only decode, but understand that the aliens have a countdown to 0 hour using Earth days and hours.
Ooh.
All right.
That's what we're doing here.
Listen,
well, I guess
I
you
don't know
could
that's
what I
not
expect.
even the
Maybe
craziest
the
thing that
aliens
happened.
adapted to Earth time so that they would be on the same schedule.
I
don't
guess.
know.
It's just easier all around.
And I understand that the alternative is, well, oh, they're going to be here in 6 Zeeb glorps. Like,
Yeah.
That's not even the craziest part of this movie. The craziest part of this movie is that Jeff Goldblum uploads a virus to the mothership, and that's what blows it up. A virus. He
Will
just
Smith
that's
can
connects.
fly that
that's what
thing.
takes the
Okay.
shields down.
Whatever. He brings a laptop to space and uploads a virus.
Oh, it's dumb.
That's ridiculous.
There's no Wi-Fi in space.
It's closer to the satellites.
Well, and
It would be
like,
stronger, right?
That's true. It's the fastest connection.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
there's a lot
no
of
competition.
Let's get this out of the way. This movie it's dumb. It's fun.
It's pretty.
It's fun.
It's like Die Hard
It's
a little
so
bit.
fun.
It's a ridiculous movie, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Here's
But Die Hard could happen.
no.
Like it's
Not without
fantastic.
plot armor.
At the basis of the the cliff notes of Die Hard, terrorists take over a tower. That could happen.
Well, yeah, that could happen.
Alien
but
spaceship with a
And cop
virus.
inside.
Virus on the spaceship.
Here's
And they have antivirus. It just takes like an undisclosed amount of minutes before it stops working.
They got that Avast.
They're like, shit, my McAfee subscription ended. I gotta get that back up. Gotta run Windows, whatever the Windows thing is. What were you?
Windows Me.
It's before two-factor authentication, so we can
My CAPTCHA wasn't set up.
No,
Oh, man.
one of the least believable parts of this movie for me was that David was married to the press secretary lady because they had no chemistry at all. 0%.
Their relationship is never explained. They're like,
At all.
They're
Dude.
like not together, but why?
They don't look like they go together. They had no chemistry. Like, just no.
And then his
they go
relationship
together.
with the
Just sometimes
president in the
couples
past.
look
Yeah.
right.
They punch
Yeah.
the president and they
They
just
never talk about
gloss
it.
over it.
Well, the president's kind of cold to him at one point.
I guess. Can can we agree on the greatest character in the whole movie is Goldblum's Jewish dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That dude's the best.
What was the line? They're on their way to the White House in the car together, and he's like trying to convince them to not get involved. His dad is, and he goes, "If they want HBO, they'll call you." And that
'Cause he was a cable guy.
He was just a cable guy.
Well, he's
like a satellite technician.
An ex-scientist turned cable guy that's somehow in the the alien command center that the government has. This movie doesn't hold up to the slightest little scratch of scrutiny, but it's a blast. It's a good movie.
It's a fun movie.
I mean, it's
That dude's voice that worked with Goldblum's character. What was up with that?
that was
Oh,
okay. I'll
God.
tell you exactly what was up with that.
Okay.
It was mid '90s gay stereotype.
The voice was?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
You're
it
right.
was. That's a
Really?
mid '90s gay stereotype. Yep.
There you go.
I would know.
Why?
I was born in '95. No, but that's
like this. Why is that?
just mother.
Why is-
I'm watching you.
It seemed that's what I took it as.
Just
was
a New
like
York parody.
weird, like New York, like gay. That's what I took
I
from
thought
it.
you had like a smoker's voice or something. I don't know. I never would have.
I don't know.
Well, you know,
Interesting.
I don't know.
I was gonna say
Maybe it
something,
was
but I'm
both.
gonna not say what I was saying.
I had to stop myself too. I want to get canceled. Smoking.
It's June. We love the gays. Love you guys.
Well, this
It's
comes out
actually
July.
July now.
Why wait until the last possible second to call the dog?
What?
Everything's blowing
the-
up.
when they're in the
LA.
tunnel?
Yeah, they're in the tunnel. She's got the kid. They get all the way into the. They go to close
Oh.
the door, and she goes, "Oh shit, Boomer, Boomer!" Like,
I
pull the
feel like-
dog.
I mean,
Boomer.
A good dog would have already been there. He would have been
Oof.
on top of you.
It depends on if you've taught your dog to follow you more or heel and wait for a command, I guess.
do you think
She
Phoebe and
would
Alfie?
How to react to explosions.
Phoebe and Elfie, every time I watch a disaster movie, I'm like, I need to buy a backpack so I can put them in it just in case we need to escape.
Yeah, because they're the kind of dogs that
Just
be like,
hope-
"We're loose!" And they
Just hope
go.
it's not The Quiet Place,
Like, oh God,
because those dogs
we'd be dead.
would be dead so
that would,
quick.
you know, that'd be
Are
fine.
those terrifying movies, or would I be able to handle that?
Quiet Place, they're
Yeah.
great. I love them.
I
I'm
don't.
never watching them.
But I don't like horror films generally.
They were very good in theaters just because it's a
There's a new one. There's a prequel coming out.
yeah. They were
But
great
the
in
guy from the
theaters,
new
not as
Stranger
good
Things,
at
right?
home.
Yeah.
So we've already had a Quiet Place and a Quiet Place 2, and now we have a prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They should have done
but
a quiet
two
place,
was
a quieter
sort
place,
of
and a quietest
prequel.
place.
This is now
The
you-
most quiet
This
place.
is now you see me too.
The most
Yeah.
quiet.
Like the last one's just called like anechoic chamber or
A
something.
most quiet
so
place.
quiet.
Yeah.
What about the loud place?
I love.
If there's a lot of noise, how could they find you? You just got to be noisy.
Everyone has to be noisy.
Yeah. I guess then everyone dies.
I like
Was
it.
the kid
Let's go in somewhere.
in the bus when he's like, "You don't want to die virgin, right?" That was the guy
Okay.
from
Yes.
the 10 Things I
Things.
Hate About You.
Oh, I knew he
Was-
looked familiar.
He's
Okay.
always been a scoundrel.
let's take roughly 45 minutes and talk about these kids. Whenever I watch a movie that's like awkwardly longer than an hour mark, I go, what would I cut to get this movie below the hour mark? So this movie was
You
like
mean
what?
2 hour mark?
No, any hour mark.
This
So
was like
Oh.
2.5
if
hours,
it's like
wasn't it?
3 minutes and 3 hours 26 minutes, I'm like, what would I cut to get it down to 3?
Okay.
This
Yeah.
movie was like 2 hours and
26,
24,
25,
26,
yeah.
something like that. And I went, what would I cut to get it down to 2? Because I still feel like 2 hours is like that's the length
That's the
that
sweet
movies
spot.
should
Yeah.
be. Big asterisk for like epics like Lord of the Rings. Obviously, you cannot make Return of the
Yeah.
King shorter than 3
This
hours.
movie
I don't
didn't
think
need to be 2.5.
No.
No.
Here's what I would cut.
budget Keanu Reeves,
Let
his
me-
son.
Let me talk.
Oh my god.
We have to go all the way back to the beginning of the movie for me here.
All right.
I liked the crazy guy, Vietnam vet that went around saying that he got abducted by aliens and probed.
Yep.
I liked that
Russell?
character.
Russell.
I think that it is very good to have a character that believes in X disaster event and nobody else does, and then thing happens, and that
Seems like an
character-
outsider's proven right.
Right. That character gets to go, told you bitches, I was right. I like that trope, especially in alien stuff. It's great to have the character that has experienced it, nobody believes him, and he ends up being right. His kids were pointless.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Really, just to pay off at the very end when he sacrifices himself.
Which-
It's like, yeah,
And
I am
even
proud.
then,
Guess what?
like,
wasn't
would've-
upset.
That would have paid off exactly the same if
Yeah.
those characters didn't exist.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I was proud of him.
There is
Like-
I
no
was proud.
reason. Those
Like, I
kids
was happy
served
for 'em.
nothing.
I mean, his son was
get-
almost like, oh, thank God. Like,
They
that's
wanna
the
leave,
vibe
but
I got at the end.
They went to leave without
That's
him.
kind of relieved. Yeah.
yeah. I am proud of him.
They go to leave without him when all the RVs like bone out of their RV camp outside of LA and
Yeah.
drive over to Area 51. And that's like, I would even leave the Russell in the RV to pick Will Smith up. I think that it's a cool nod to have him show up those 3 times. Very beginning in the diner when everybody's making fun of him. Picks up Will Smith
Yeah.
with the RV exodus to Area 51 and then chooses to sacrifice himself because he was a fighter pilot in Vietnam. I think
And-
those 3 things are cool. I just don't understand why you have the kids, and we could have saved probably 5 to 10 minutes of screen time by just yoinking them out because they
Yeah,
didn't.
they
And
don't
they
really do
didn't.
anything.
You know what else I would remove is Will Smith's love interest, because what freaking purpose did she serve?
That came out of nowhere. That
And-
stripper
kinda
scene.
gives-
And the first lady, what purpose did she serve? I don't think that we
No, it's
needed.
some emotional beats in the movie.
But isn't entire cities are being genocided by aliens enough? Like,
love.
did you really feel more impacted by the fact that the president's wife didn't make it because she was bleeding internally? Because I didn't give a shit about her.
I
Hardly
felt
seems
impacted by
it.
Will Smith's lady that he went to go save her, and then.
I guess that one had a payoff, but,
But
like,
yeah, the first
That
lady,
one does.
I didn't really care about.
But you
'cause-
have to have a first lady.
do you?
I mean, she could have just been there with the president, I guess, and not as much story. But
I'm sorry I didn't leave when you.
if you have a
told me
president, you have to
to
have first lady. Is I think where I'm at.
I don't think so. Has every president been married? Look that
I
up.
think so.
Jamie. I'm just
I
kidding.
think.
Jamie.
Yeah. Oh.
It's Joe Rogan's Google bitch.
Oh, I'm glad I don't know that.
Yeah, good for you. I'm sad that I do know that.
Give it a goog.
Give it a good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
definitely
know.
more payoff with Will Smith's
Oh.
lady, Jasmine.
I think that I'm being a bit too brash about the. I'll admit I'm going too far with the first lady and the Will Smith's lady, but God, get those kids out.
The kids, yes. 2 presidents have not been married.
Which two? Martin Van Buren. I'm just kidding.
James Buchanan
Okay.
and Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland.
Grover.
Well, you could say 3 he was
a
president
good
twice.
name.
But he's one
But he had
one
2
man.
numbers.
I don't know anything about him, but that's a good name.
Grover
No,
I like
Cleveland.
Grover.
about Grover Cleveland.
Grover sounds
I
like a
should have said
dog's
that.
name.
I regret saying
The
that.
thing that you know is that he served 2 non-consecutive terms.
That's it.
That's definitely
the
the
only
thing
you
that
know.
I knew.
That's why he's notable. Hey, let's not have another one of those, please, America.
Yeah, please God.
Can we please not have another one of those? I would rather eat glass.
Dolphin
dog.
engagement ring though.
Oh.
Trash.
That was pretty.
Trash. I don't care
I
that she
did-
likes dolphins. No.
Yeah.
Get her a dolphin, something else, not
is
her
a-
engagement
Get
ring.
her a
bro.
dolphin. Don't do that to the rings. Like, don't.
It's the most Claire's ass ring.
Oh,
I did.
she deserved better.
Claire's.
That is a paddock mall
Bad.
piece of shit. ring.
Claire's.
If I had
That's-
given you a dolphin ring, you might have said no.
I probably would have said
And the
I would have
dolphins were,
said
like,
yes, but I would have
69ing
been
too.
like, what the
We gotta
fuck?
change this.
It was like a concentric circle
Yeah.
of dolphins. Like, it
All
was-
right.
I did love Harry Connick Jr. as the guy who was Will Smith's character's like friend at work.
Oh yeah.
They like got on a knee and had the ring and stuff.
Yeah.
He was
does.
great.
I'm sad
He
that
dies.
he died.
That scene where the guy walks in and sees them proposing, he's like,
All
and he
right.
walks away. That was hilarious, and it also gave me very Top Gun vibes. Just that.
Dude, I
interaction with
wrote
Will Smith.
hang on. I wrote this movie because the music kind of reminded me of Star Wars a little bit.
All of the plane scenes were
Yeah.
super trench run.
I wrote
Down to the best friend dying was like Biggs dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they say that the script was pitched as War of the Worlds meets Pulp Fiction, but I wrote down
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
I wrote down
bullshit.
Top Gun has a baby with Star Wars and it's born on July 4th.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
That's
better.
this movie.
That's better.
pretty good.
That's great. Yeah, I don't get Pulp Fiction vibes at all from this.
No,
Yeah, I don't understand
like
that reference.
not at all.
Maybe
They
that's like
tell
how
the
it
story
started.
in a
but-
linear way. There's really nothing. Like
There's nothing.
I don't
There's
get that at all.
nothing. And it's very. But
There's
you
a
know
lot
what?
of violence. I
I
guess.
bet if they pitched like Top Gun, Star Wars, it wouldn't have gotten made because it sounds like a camp disaster.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the movie is, a camp disaster. So my biggest beef with the plot is so Goldblum, Will Smith, they fly with no incident into the mothership.
Just a couple oops.
They hack it with a floppy disk or whatever. They get docked somehow.
Well, the alien, just grabs them.
I better dock that 50-year-old ship.
It's all very like Star Wars Episode 1.
It's an
Anakin
older
in the
security
control
code, but
ship.
it checks out.
Or that. Which, sure, fine. But here's my beef. They know the shields are down, right? It's the whole point.
Oh, yeah.
And then they don't immediately nuke it?
They don't nuke it.
Huh?
We're going to nuke the mothership when the shields are up. We know they're shielded. We're still going to hit it with a nuke. We're shocked it doesn't work. Then the second we get the shields down, we don't nuke the ship. We hit it with normal ass missiles. That's what we're doing. Explain that.
Yeah,
also,
I didn't think about that.
We have, it's the Cold War. We have 5
So many.
billion submarines that are nuclear capable. We have an unknown amount of missile silos in Montana that all have nukes in them, but no, we can only attach
Well, maybe
a
they
nuke.
blew them up.
We can only attach
Maybe
a nuke.
they already, because they used them once.
They were attacking. Well, the aliens were attacking military bases, so maybe they blew up the nuke base.
Not in Montana.
Well, we don't. Maybe it happened off screen.
No.
I guess I thought it was because they didn't want everything falling on top of the rest of the city, but I guess they did that anyway.
I got
Yeah.
mad because they blew up the one over top of Area 51, and then it landed not on top of them, even
So
though
there
it
you
was
go.
directly on top of them. I was
guess
like, that doesn't make any sense.
The answer to my frustration is, well, we got to save the nuke for the one guy, for what's his face? Our
Russell.
Vietnam crazy man who's,
Cousin Eddie.
my missile doesn't fire. Du-du-du. And then we have the sacrifice thing. but,
Wait a
like,
minute, I'm a missile.
Yeah.
Crashes himself
I'll
into
just
it.
kamikaze and fly my plane straight
Yeah.
up because that's how that works. And blow
My
up the
beef
thing. Just
is
nuke it.
that CIA guy that sat on that information for like the whole movie. He's like, actually, there were aliens. I was like, dude, as soon as that happened, you should have been like, yeah, we got to go to Area 51 like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not, then we don't have a movie.
Then we
so-
don't have a movie. Well, that's the whole
Yeah.
movie. Is if you use your magnifying glass and look at any part of the movie, you wouldn't have a movie because it's insane. I do like how the aliens, so whoever they got for the monster to do the concept art for the aliens, he presented the director with 2 concepts, and the director went both. So one of the concepts is the alien armor, and the other one is the organic alien underneath. So they actually modified the script to have the aliens in armor so that they could use both concepts. I like that.
That's cool.
I also like that the ship that they have in Area 51 was a full-size model.
Oh, nice.
Like that was actually in. They were just in a big
Sick.
studio with that whole thing. That's super cool.
Where's
I wonder
that
if that
now?
still exists. Yeah, that's got to be somewhere.
That thing was made of probably
Yeah,
paper
that's-
mache and Pepsi cans. That thing doesn't exist.
It's got to be
No,
somewhere.
it was Coke. Coke was all over the beginning of this movie.
It's true. And at the end, he's like, "Shoot this can, man."
Yeah.
Every scene
And
Jeff
recycle it when
Goldblum
you're done.
was in, Cameron was like,
Oh yeah. Well, listen. Goldblum is delightful. I love Jeff Goldblum. I don't know
He's
if
such
I would
an odd
like this
bird.
movie without Jeff Goldblum in it because he's so
No.
weird. That's
He's a
weird
strange
guy.
guy.
that weird
I'm not
in this
sure that
movie,
he's
though.
not an alien.
Ooh.
Now,
I like that conspiracy.
he
That's
got-
why he knows
yeah.
the signal.
Yeah, that's why he knows he can intercept it. He's an alien, but he's fond of Earth.
but
He
isn't
fell for an Earth lady.
Isn't he that weird? Because it's not just like
Well,
It's this little things he does. His speech patterns
Yes,
also makes him weird.
it felt like a little bit of him like crept out at a couple points.
Like
Christopher Walken also has a weird kind of speech thing like that,
Yeah.
where it's like uniquely them.
But Goldblum will he'll repeat his conjunctions and be like, well. Like that's his stutter, and they keep that stuff in, and he's just so.
But it's such a
strange.
It's just
smooth
so him.
stutter.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like a fully controlled stutter. Like,
And I
you
might-
know, like it's I don't know.
If I could get one more thing out of this movie, is I want 35 minutes of Goldblum and Will Smith together.
Yes, that
Kill
was one
the
of my
kids.
notes.
Like,
Kill the
get rid of
kids.
the kids.
Give me more of those two.
Yeah.
Like
So funny.
put them in that spaceship together in the second act and give me an hour of it. Like that's what I
Dude.
want.
Okay, when they
Movie,
bring the
isn't there?
cigars out, there's a
That's
scene.
all the fat lady sings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's very Will Smith's cigar is very clearly not cut, and then it cuts to Goldblum and back to him, and he hasn't cut it, but he puts it in his mouth and starts smoking it,
Yeah.
and that really bothered me.
They didn't have a cutter. I don't know.
So
Maybe
you
I-
just smoked it through. I mean, I guess I don't know.
Maybe bit
I don't
a
know how
hole.
that works.
Maybe bit a hole in the paper or something.
Just bite it.
Yeah, I've bitten them before. You do what you have to do. You just need one little perforation in the back of the paper. So
Yeah.
you just bit it off and went puh like a man.
Hot.
yeah,
Hawk
Hawk
tour.
tour. Did you know that girl was in Nashville?
Really?
That happened in downtown Nashville.
You could have been
kidding.
there.
Yeah.
You should go stand in the spot.
For those listening, he shook his head.
Yeah.
He might have said something. His mic didn't pick it up. It was great. Watch the podcast on YouTube.podcast.
If you're listening, you're stupid, David.
No.
That was a David. That was a David.
If you're listening,
If you're listening, we love you.
make all your friends listen. I had more things to say. Their escape flight with the door closing. Very Empire Strikes Back with the asteroid worm. So the alien that is at the docking thing where Goldblum and Will Smith's ship is docked and they can't escape, and then they close the blinds on the thing or whatever, right? And it's when they decide that they're gonna arm their nuke that they also have. There's nukes in this point, but they're just not where I want them. They're basically hey, let's open the window and give the middle finger to this alien guy, and then
Who's gonna know what that means?
right,
Yeah.
exactly. But at the beginning of the movie, we get told that the aliens don't have vocal cords and they don't talk. They communicate telepathically. And yet in that scene, when the nuke starts going off, the alien moans about it. He's like, how do you... Gotta vocal cords do that. So do they have vocal cords or don't they, movie?
Yeah.
How are we groaning at a nuke without vocal cords? Dumb. Be consistent.
Maybe it's like the
Just
Matrix
the
when his
bones
mouth
rattling.
gets covered up.
The thing is all they had to do was not say that they don't have vocal cords and just say
And
that
that's
they
fine.
communicate telepathically, and I wouldn't have had a beef with it. But you went out of your freaking way to say that they don't have vocal cords. You know what this is? Let me get you an ice water all over.
Oh, no.
You're right.
It's just sloppy.
Don't point out a characteristic of something if you're not gonna do the thing, because my autistic ass will notice it. I'll notice
The
it.
ice water is
Don't
so
say,
bad though.
let me get you an ice water and come back with
God.
a cup full
No
of no
ice.
ice in the water. Freaking.
Actually, that was a metaphor for.
It's a metaphor for Martin Scorsese's gross incompetence.
We haven't shit on
man.
Scorsese.
Scorsese? From the top.
Martin Scorsese.
Tarman Scorsese.
What in the Bill Cosby were you doing over there?
Tarman Scorsese.
Corn pop.
Bill Cosby's a rapist, and we don't condone his
breathe.
speech patterns.
Just saying, we haven't hated on Scorsese in a while.
Oh, I
It's been a
hate.
minute.
I am always smoking that Scorsese pack. I freaking hate
But
that guy.
I forgot how to speak.
Yeah, movie. So I don't know. The nuke thing really bugs me. That's it really bugs me. Just nuke it from anything. We have a million
Yeah.
submarines in off the coast of Florida. Just
But
boom,
hang on.
done.
You're talking about the scene where they shoot it once, it breaks the shields down, and then they shoot again.
They don't. None of the shooting breaks the shields down. The hacking brought the shields down.
The president was like,
I'm
I'm going to
talking
give
about-
it one
Oh,
more
you're
try.
right.
I'm talking
You're
about
right, you're right.
25 minutes before that, before they figured out, before the Area 51 thing, before all that, the president's like, time to drop the nukes. F it. It'll end the world, maybe. Who cares? It's our last result. They shoot a nuke. from a B-2 stealth bomber. Send it up. It shoots a nuke at the thing, and it just impacts on the shield.
Yeah.
And then they go, guess we'll never try that again, even
Yeah.
though we know the shields are down now after Jeff Goldblum hacks them. They don't do the nuke until, like, Captain Richard or whatever that dude's name is has to fly
I don't even
it
think
directly into
that's
the
a
thing.
nuke. I think that's just a
Maybe it
regular
was a
missile.
regular missile.
Yeah.
Why did
Yeah.
we all of a sudden cower out on
Yeah.
nukes? Why? It should have
Like-
been shields down, and then every ICBM in the U.S. should have gone to this.
Right, like why do we have to have this whole air fight back and forth when you could have just pulled your helicopters back out and gone boop?
Probably because it's more exciting. Also,
I guess.
speaking of helicopters, the welcome committee thing, whatever they call it, the welcome wagon, which, first of all,
Welcome wagon.
is an excellent name. I buy that. That sounds like the name the military would exactly give to that kind of helicopter. The thing with the dot matrix lights that they used light bulbs to communicate we come in peace with an alien thing that they know nothing about. How were they communicating with the lights? How?
It does. It's,
I guess
they're
anything.
just trying
Just-
it.
I don't know.
Give it a
Anything's up for
try.
grabs.
Yeah, why
That's true.
not?
But
I don't know what
okay,
you should
What else are you
do.
supposed to do?
Let me put all of you in the cockpit of a helicopter. You're flying it. You're flying the welcome wagon. You
Yep.
know how to fly a helicopter for some reason, and someone has put you, Nick, in charge of that.
I'm not
Through
doing it.
Gross oversight. You are in charge of a military anything. The person who crashes his car into everything
I've
has
been a
been
couple
given a
years clean,
helicopter.
man.
Now you're in clean. I went to car crash rehab. I'm clean.
There's not been a
Wild.
crash up there in the sky.
Now
That's true.
you're in a helicopter in front of an alien ship.
Yep.
You're flashing lights at it. It starts glowing blue. Do you A, sit there, or B,
It's doing something.
or B, go nope and descend?
Straight down.
Because they just sat there.
You would-
I mean, they don't know.
You would have to have a gun to my head to get
All right.
me to fly up there.
Let's play devil's advocate. They don't know what blue lights mean.
Yeah.
How would you guess? I would probably
I mean,
guess
maybe
that
they're
that's
opening
bad.
it to let us ship out
I
to
guess-
go talk to you.
I guess
don't
there
know.
is a level of if you're sitting there in the helicopter looking into the blue light, it's just a moment of like you freeze, like you don't know what to do.
Also,
No.
you probably can't get away very quickly. So regardless, you're probably going to.
Or yeah, maybe they were like pulling them.
I think I'm going to take, which at this point already is several decades of science fiction knowledge, and
Yeah.
go, that's probably bad. And I'm going to get
I
my
mean,
helicopter
if
out of there.
aliens show up, it's probably bad. Like I don't.
That's fair.
You're right.
I'm going to
Anything they do, get out of it.
I just don't know why we put so many humans up there immediately. The first thing we did was put humans up there in planes or in helicopters.
First thing we did was
Why not?
strap unwieldy lights to a helicopter and went, fly that.
Like, why not put an unmanned something up there to see what
See
it
if they
looks
don't
like?
kill you.
That's-
We didn't have drones in 1996.
That's true. That's true.
We didn't even have the real internet yet.
They had like the
We didn't have
toy
Homestar
helicopters. I
Runner.
bet
Yeah.
Carl will fly one up there and land it on the top, and it'll be stuck forever.
Real thing that happened.
Can I get my helicopter back? And they just turn the blue lights on. You can keep it. You can keep it.
What if the blue light
Helicopters
was just
are
like
bullshit.
a UV cleanser, like phone soap? Cleaning it off.
Ugh.
Sorry, we just had to sanitize you guys. Come on board. Let's talk.
What I want to know is who Danielle selected
Oh,
to do
God.
hot points for.
Oh, God. Let's do this right. Are you ready?
Yeah,
There's
man.
at least 2 contenders.
And then we'll wrap up movie talk after this.
I did both characters.
Both characters. There are like 8.
Okay,
They're
the two
too
obvious
obvious.
candidates for hot
the
points,
dad.
which is
and
no 0.
Russell.
Russell, no, he's not hot.
So Goldblum, and Will
Goldblum
Smith?
and Will Smith, yes.
Because
the
I would
I
put
was thinking the president, too.
I would put the president up there. I'm glad I'm not alone in that one. So,
Nah,
okay.
nah. Goldblum and Will Smith. So
I would argue we have 3 main characters. Is what I was going to say.
that's fair, but he's a bit. I don't know. He doesn't give
His
hot
plastic
vibes.
hair.
Yeah, he's not hot.
He's.
He's sterile.
cool under
Yeah.
pressure.
I feel
he
like
fought in a fighter jet with his comrades.
By the way,
it's
he
irresponsible.
really reminded me.
You're the president of the world that's been blown up, and you're gonna
President
go
of the
risk
world.
your
Over at
life.
this point.
you're the president of the world.
I mean, basically, the whole world was waiting for America to come up with a plan.
Which, yeah,
That's insane.
Wait a minute. We never cut to any other country.
Yeah.
What we know is that the aliens know enough about Earth to adopt our time, our method of telling time, and B, to know where all of
Central
our
time.
important capitals are. And yet no other nation tried to do anything?
Well, we're not focused on them.
I guess.
We hear that they had
That's for sure.
No, but okay.
we cut to the desert, like the Iraqi desert or whatever.
Yeah, but okay, yes, exactly. Give us a shot of them like shooting AK-47s at it. That's all I want. Like, show us the impression that we get from watching the film, that the film gives us, is, hey, we took one down. Let's get on our like rotary dial phone and tell Uganda how to take the ships down now. Like, the rest of the world was just like, let's see what America does. Let's see. See what America does. Russia's got a space program in the 90s. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We're in a Cold War.
They had already solved it like 20 hours before we even did anything. It's just
they're
like,
just
that
watching.
movie's
They
over.
just built a really big
What will
Molotov
America do
cocktail
now?
and threw it.
Easy peasy.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I had
That's
to get
fine.
that out because that's crazy.
I always
That's
get
kind of what I was
interrupted.
talking about when I said America-centered hubris at the opening of the show. I'm
Yeah.
done now.
Yeah. Hot points.
One more thing. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you guys always interrupt me during hot points, so I'm used to it. Let's see. We're gonna do Old Goldblum first.
Old Goldblum.
I don't know why.
Old blue.
Old Goldblum. We got a +1, so there in the beginning of the movie, he runs up to the rooftop to like pull out his computer and look at the thing, and he's like, "Aw." And I had a thought. I was like, "Young Jeff Goldblum, he looks pretty good."
Should see him in The Fly.
So I don't want to see him in The Fly because it sounds scary.
Well, but he's got his shirt off.
The note I actually made is, young Jeff Goldblum was a good-looking fellow. +1.
+1.
And then
Love the impression.
we got
I'm a handsome fella.
we got another +1 because after they blow up the alien ship, they crash down on Earth.
Yeah.
And him and Will Smith are walking from the burning ship with their cigars in their mouths, sunglasses on, unbothered.
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
Action hero trope.
Which, to skip ahead, this is our first double hot point because Will Smith got a hot point for the same thing.
Ooh.
Because they
Double
did
hot
it.
point.
They did it together. You know,
I
they're
like
both
that.
looking hot.
Hot point camaraderie.
Hot point camaraderie. So that brings us to a 7 for Jeff Goldblum. Will Smith. He got a +1 for his I mean, he's strong.
He's Will Smith.
He's
man.
Will Smith. He's got that swag. He's confident.
And
You know?
you're entering
He's that
Hollywood.
Fresh
that
Prince.
strong.
He's that
He
Fresh
fills out that
Prince. Yeah.
tank top really well.
Really well. So +1,
Yeah.
hot.
Welcome to Earth. Great.
Great. Great. And then he got another +1 for, I don't know, he helicoptered to go save his woman. He was brave.
He stole that
He
helicopter.
stole
yeah.
that helicopter. He said, "No, this is mine."
Just tell him I punched you.
Yeah. He was so brave.
Badass, dude. I liked that.
He embraced her,
Yeah.
carried her back to the base, led the way to the people. Leadership skills.
Yeah.
Hot. And as I already said, for the walk back with the glasses, that brings us to an 8 for Will Smith.
Nice.
What was Goldblum at?
7.
Okay, that's
No.
fair. That's valid.
No hot points for recycling
I forgot about that.
No hot points for recycle.
or chess.
I couldn't focus. There was I don't know. This wasn't a really hot movie, so I did the
No.
best that I could, you know?
No, I don't think it was.
That being said, between the two of them, I think I would rather have Jeff Goldblum over Will Smith, even though the points reflected differently.
Yeah,
So there you go.
I think he's more charming
Yeah.
in a stereotypical way. Like not like
It's like an
Will Smith
unassuming way.
He's like action. I mean, for God's sakes, he's in
Will
the
Smith
military.
knows he's
Yeah.
charming. Jeff Goldblum doesn't know he's charming.
Right.
Ooh.
I want.
But they're both charming.
right.
Yes.
I wanted more of The World According to Jeff Goldblum, that Disney Plus show, or Jeff Goldblum just.
We
like,
never
I
even
still need
finished
to watch that.
We never even finished what we
We
had.
never finished season
Yeah.
2. He said he would do a 3rd season, but they haven't asked. I want to do another fact that just popped into my brain because you brought up the military man, or I did, or somebody said something with the military. The U.S. military was originally going to be involved and allow the studio to shoot on like Air Force bases and stuff, until they read the script and saw Area 51, and then they said nope, and they didn't cooperate at all.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything about if aliens are real or not, I don't know. But they saw any mention of Area 51, and they went, we're not working with you.
Concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
He really had a moment in the 90s. Goldblum
yeah.
did. I mean, Jurassic Park, this, The Fly.
There's probably more.
There's more. Is there a movie, though, and I just don't know, and everybody in this room has watched movies more than I, is there a movie where Jeff Goldblum is considered the honest-to-God lead? Because it's not
I don't
Jurassic Park.
know.
It's not this. I know nothing about The Fly.
I've never seen The Fly.
I just don't know. Like I want to know if there's a movie where and as a follow-up, would he work as a lead, or does
I think
Jeff
depending on the
Goldblum-
kind of movie.
does he work because there's like discretion in his screen time?
It's a good question.
I can't really
I feel
tell.
like he's fairly
know in the
prominent
comments.
in Jurassic Park, though.
No, not really.
But he's not a main character. He's kind of like a cautionary voice, right?
He's like the yin to the character that Newman plays is Yang.
Newman.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mail never stops. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
an
love-
interesting question.
God, I love Jurassic Park. That's a good movie.
There you go.
So yeah, there you go. I want to pose a question, a twofold question as part of Hit Mid or Miss. First of all, do we think this is a good movie?
I haven't thought about hit, mid, or miss.
Is this a good movie?
It's in the same category as like
do you mean
National
by that?
Treasure.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Entertaining movie or like a good film?
That's what I mean. Is it a good film? Like
No.
I don't think it's a good film. I think it's.
I think it was a good film for its time.
I disagree.
I think that has to. Yeah, I think you have to.
Like think of the other things
let
that
that be
came out around
timeless.
Jurassic Park for one. I
Pulp
mean,
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
Like
God.
the
Oh,
'90s
yeah, okay,
were
yeah.
I take it back.
Goodfellas. The '90s were stacked. Tombstone, like stacked. And then you have
Yeah, but those are.
Toy Story.
The genre though, and
I was
like
gonna say-
what the expectation is of that genre. Like
That's what I'm getting at. For the time frame and the genre,
good is such a
what more
ambivalent word.
or
for
better
movies.
is going to be done? Yeah.
Like I think a movie can be bad and fun. For example, dude, Twister came out in '96.
Yeah, because I guess I get.
I
Like, at the
hate
end of
that
the day, it's all entertainment, right? So it's like, it's good if it entertains, right?
Well, no, I disagree because there are bad movies that can be good, or bad movies that can be fun. Like fun and bad can go hand in hand. I
Yes.
think good and fun can also go hand in hand. Like, for example, the Kung Pao Enter the Fist. That's a shit
I was
movie.
just
But
thinking
that's-
about that movie.
That is also,
I almost said it.
That's a great movie.
It's
Yeah.
an amazing.
It's
movie.
not good. It's hilarious though.
Yeah, I don't think this is in that territory though.
Movies that released the major releases of 1996: Scream, Independence Day, Fargo, which I want to watch.
Oh.
Train Spotting, The Rock, which is also bad. Twister, Space Jam, the first dude.
Space Jam.
This movie had to
Space
go up
Jam.
against the first Mission Impossible,
Oof.
which I've never
That's
seen.
crazy.
But there's been a million of those and like 2 Independence Days. I just
And
don't
the
know.
second
if,
one
like,
was a flop.
yeah, I just don't know. I don't. Here's the thing. I know I brought it up. I don't care. if this is a
I
good
don't
movie
think
or
there's
not.
an answer.
I don't think it matters. I think it's a fun movie. I don't think
Yeah.
it's good. Maybe I
It's
don't
good
think it's
entertainment.
Good. But
Yeah.
I wasn't super bored. It has flaws, of course. I don't think those freaking kids should be in it. I don't understand why they didn't nuke the ship at the end. I don't really care about any of the women. I don't think the women are written well in the
I
movie.
think you're just sexist.
No, I
The opposite.
Au contraire.
kidding,
I
I'm
think that they're
kidding.
not
Au
given
contraire.
strong leads. I don't
No,
think
they're not.
They don't
Yeah.
have a point.
No.
So they're like
Jasmine has a little bit of development.
they're
Like,
both there just to make us like feel sad.
Film something else for the men.
Yeah, and it's yeah,
I guess
Yeah.
they're used as a vessel to give the men more development.
which is
Yeah.
an underdeveloped role. That's
Yeah.
not how we write female characters.
They're using him as a tool instead of as a person.
right, And
Yeah.
everybody that goes against like female leads in movies now will be like, those were the good old days when women were just there to elevate the men. Da, da, da. But those people drag their knuckles on the ground when they walk. So I don't know. This movie has many flaws, but I think it's fun. I think it's good. I don't where it becomes difficult is when hit, mid, or miss comes into play.
Yeah.
Because what does that mean? And that's why Nick got really frustrated with the concept of hit, mid, or miss when I introduced it halfway through last year's list.
Yeah.
Because it is purposefully open-ended and purposefully up to interpretation. If the gauge that we're choosing personally among the four of ourselves is, was this a fun movie? Then it's a hit. I think that I have enough frustrations with the plot just because it's so dumb to want me to teeter upon the mid side. Like there are way more action flicks in the 90s that I would put far and above this movie. Jurassic Park for one, Terminator. I think Predator might have been 80s. Was Terminator 80s?
I think Terminator was 80s, but Terminator 2 might have been
Terminator 2,
early
well,
90s.
I mean, Terminator 2 is better than Terminator.
I think.
It's the
Don't
rare
quote me on
sequel
that.
that's better.
Terminator is a fun movie though.
So, I just don't know. I don't know how to say hit, mid, or miss. I'm going to go against my instinct and err on the side of positivity and give it a hit because I did have fun watching it. And I loved Goldblum's performance. I thought Will Smith was fun. I think the movie is a mess, but I think it's kind of a fun mess. Would I watch it again? I don't know. But I don't think that's the litmus test that I personally have for myself. There are many movies that I love that I would never watch again. For one, Saving Private Ryan.
Not even 4th of July, though.
No, because I don't give a shit about 4th of July.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not a patriotic person.
Also, this was barely about 4th of July.
It's not at all about
It just happened. on
I want to know what
July.
everybody else thinks. I want to stop yapping, though. I want to know. I'm going to give it a loose hit, but it's like, really, it's mid 0.5. But
Yeah.
what about you? You've seen it before.
I'm gonna go mid, like a high mid.
Yeah,
Like
that's kind of where I'm at.
It was enjoyable. I didn't hate my time. I laughed. I felt. But
I feel.
cold. But I mean, it's obvious there's a lot of holes, and I can't put. I don't know.
Now, you watched this movie, obviously, for the purpose of the show with more of a critical or observant eye. How did you feel about it the first time you watched it as a teenager?
I remember liking it as a teenager.
I mean, I think that speaks
I
positively
feel like
for the
it
film
holds
on a
up.
level.
It holds up about how I thought. Like The Mummy for me did not hold up. This held up better
You know
than
what
The
the
Mummy
difference
did.
is?
What?
Practical effects in this movie. All the
Ooh.
models. The Mummy had horrible digital effects.
Like I feel like I like
and it dated
this
that movie.
maybe equally to how I did as a kid, but I like The Mummy less now than I did as a kid. Which
think
is
it-
maybe the wrong answer, but that's how I feel. Sorry.
I think another thing propping this movie up is the 90s. 90s films definitely have a feel, and 90s summer blockbusters definitively have a feel.
I like
And,
the feel.
I like that feel too. It's kind of like 80s plus.
Yeah. 80s without the terrible synth music.
Because the 2000s,
Could you imagine synth music
Oh
in this?
my god,
movie?
no.
Oh, man.
Wow.
movies of the aughts,
Bad.
I look back on those with almost disdain. And I should look back
The what?
on them with the nostalgia, like movies of the 2000s, the aughts. They just seem shitty. Like we jumped into digital too early. I stand by that, and I think the effects don't age well. We got away from practical too early. We went all in on digital, and I think that was a
Yep.
huge flaw. And when
I
you
agree.
look back on the movies that stuck to film and stick to
Yeah.
practical, which is this movie, they hold up really well. But then again, you have some things like Jurassic Park that are amazing. Now, granted, I have not seen Jurassic Park in probably 10 years. But from what I remember, everything looks really good. But anyway, I digress. Carl?
I think it's mid.
Yeah.
It's fun for sure, but yeah, like I don't think I'm ever gonna watch this again outside of this unless maybe
Right.
I try to find a meme for it to put an egg in somebody's hand. But even I was like, I couldn't even watching this. I was like, when would I do it? What's the right scene? I'm like,
No, you
I
got to
don't
put a
know.
big
like,
egg in place of the spaceship.
that might be it.
Just a huge egg, and then
Yeah.
Photoshop the shadow to be like a square.
Yeah, maybe that's probably the move. Yeah, but I think it's probably a mid plus, if anything. It's definitely a fun movie. Like, but yeah, it's not a masterpiece.
Shoot
Like,
the egg off the top of the
Yeah.
spaceship, maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
Nick, what about you? Hit, or miss?
I think the beginning of this movie was well on the way of being a hit.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh.
the initial invasion, the reaction, you see the president, but it got real silly real quick for me
I think
about halfway through.
I think I sympathize with the writers though, because how the hell do you write a movie like this?
Yeah, and
you
I try to
can't
be
go-
forgiving because it's also on a level a product of its time in technology then, but
Because you can't go full apocalypse, because that's a way different film. Like you're not, you can't go Alien or Aliens with this, because first of all, Alien works because in Aliens we're confined to ships and bases and stuff, not the whole planet. But I've never really seen any other alien apocalypse film.
Have you seen War of the Worlds?
No, War of the Worlds actually.
I've seen a show based on it, but
War
no.
of the Worlds got Spielberg's War of the Worlds was pushed a year because this film was so successful. Everybody was like, "Get out of the way of this movie."
Huh.
So they delayed War of the Worlds because this movie popped off.
Gotcha.
So you're
I'm going to go mid.
Ooh.
I think we're resolutely mid then, pretty much.
Certified big room
Meh.
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 I need a foghorn.
But like a happy meh.
Yeah, it's like mid plus.
Not mad.
Yeah.
That's how I would give it. Like, I don't want to. The problem that we get because we post things on the internet is whenever we critique anything, everyone jumps to defend it. I'm sure people exist where Independence Day is their favorite movie. I want to know which brand of glue they've been sniffing for like a decade. But
See, you didn't have to say that part. You were almost saying something good.
no, but like I think it's perfectly okay to be like,
So
this is
close.
but I watch this every 4th of July, and good
Yeah.
for you. I'm not like
Oh, I'd definitely watch it
when
again.
we critique a movie, I don't. It's not like we're saber rattling for the most part. There have definitely been movies.
So not
that-
movie critics. So
Right.
it's like, yeah.
There have definitely been movies that I've gone scorched earth on, like everything Scorsese makes except for Goodfellas, and other things as well. There's
Shutter
one that-
Island.
Shutter Island. God,
Favorite movie.
I would rather
Shut up.
That's insane.
Ooh, Dungeons and Dragons. We
Dungeons
didn't like
and
that.
Dragons. Yeah,
I don't think
I kind of
that
feel
holds up.
bad about how hard we went on Dungeons and Dragons. I almost want to give that one another shot, but also I could not.
That
have
was
been,
a shock for me that y'all hated
I
it so
couldn't
much.
have been more bored and just like predictable tropey about that. And maybe I should have been like, oh, the tropes are fun, but
Yeah, I thought that
just-
was the point. Was the tropes?
But
being-
like,
but there
we
were-
watched
like-
other movies with tropes, and they've landed better. I don't know. They just didn't
like,
land funny.
There's
to
a
me.
lot of tropes in this movie. Like for one, Data is the mad scientist. For two, like there's always keys in the sun visor. Like there's
Yeah.
tropes like that where you go, nah, yep.
Yeah.
But when you put it in a fantasy environment, it changes it for me. And that movie just didn't scan. And
I feel like it's just because you've got the history of like Lord of the Rings and like legitimate fantasy that
high
like the other
fantasy.
things seemed like ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't. And I went again. I wanted to give that movie. I gave that movie every chance in my brain to begin. I was so excited to watch it, and then just I hated it. I hated that movie. Sorry, Dungeons and Dragons people. But anyway, we liked Independence Day, but it sucks. It's a mid movie. It's fine. It's a fine film. You watched a terrible movie.
Is it fine if I take some minutes to?
Yeah, we're
Go
gonna.
over
We're,
this.
we might be a little long. Oh, should we pick the next film before we start?
Sure.
Did we ever decide?
We
So okay, let's go with the
Did?
theme. Oh, we did. We
think
did.
we did.
Okay, so we're gonna have a bit of a monstery, alien-y kind of theme
Yes.
for June.
Yeah.
July.
July.
Shit, sorry.
wait. What's the official name?
Creature
Creature
features.
feature.
Creature features.
So we wanted to do fun summer blockbusters,
Rhyming.
and we wanted to kind of narrow it to creature films because we started with an alien movie. So on that note, continuing not only the alien theme, but the Goldblum theme, we are
Hey.
actually going to watch the first Jurassic Park film next. You've only seen the first Jurassic Park
Yes.
film, and you've seen probably some of the world movies.
I saw the first World. I've seen the first of each.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I remember 2 being okay, and then 3 like the Raptors talking. It's a bummer, but I didn't not. I watched like 2 and 3 on the same day, so they meld together, and I haven't seen them in nearly 20 years now, probably.
I know
but-
3 has the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, I think I've seen Jurassic Park proper 2 or 3 or 4 times, like not many times.
I've only seen it once, and it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think it kicks the
So
shit.
relatively
Kicks
recent.
the shit out of the world movies. Jurassic Park is a bad.
I haven't seen literally anything else.
Carl, you've seen it, I'm sure.
I I don't think I've seen the first one. I know.
Whoa.
I know.
No,
I
not as
I'm
admonition,
Very, very excited to watch this.
but oh my
Jurassic
god,
Park.
that makes it so much better.
I
What
feel like
have
I've
you seen,
I've seen like the newer ones with Chris
Jurassic
Pratt,
World, yeah.
which
I
were
knew
like,
we were watching this
okay.
because somebody hadn't seen it. And then when you said you saw it, I was like, wait, who hasn't seen this? It was Carl.
It's probably
It's
also
me.
been
I'm very excited to watch Jurassic Park.
6 or 7 or 10 years for me too. So no, yeah, we're July, summertime. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to watch a bunch of movies we haven't seen. We're gonna hang out and watch movies with a bunch of creatures in them. And the next one's gonna be Jurassic Park, and I'm stoked, dude.
It's gonna be a good one.
Bitchin' movie. I love Jurassic Park. I hope it holds up. I really do. I bet it will.
I think it
I
for
think it
God's
will.
sake. So yeah, hey, if you don't want to listen to Danielle's rant about what movie? Some Sydney Sweeney bullshit.
Anyone but you.
Boo. Anyone but boo.
Anyone
Well, that's the one with Glenn Powell.
Yes.
So-
yes.
Anyway, Jurassic Park next week. Great. I'm desperate to. So I got a little bit of this rant the other night because I think in here playing Fallout 4.
You were.
On a Friday night or something, and you were like, I'm going to watch a movie. And you put this on and go. Just go.
So I had seen from several reliable sources
People
who
you
have
trust and
people
love.
who I think have good taste. I had said positive things about this movie. It is a
Did you ever
rom
message the
com.
one person?
No,
No. Okay.
no, I don't remember who I said that was, but no. Thought this was a good movie. It's a new rom-com, so I'm always a little bit more critical of new rom-coms, but I try to keep an open mind.
And you've been shouting from the rooftops for almost 10 years. We need more rom-coms.
We need more
I agree
rom-coms.
with you. Crazy Rich Asians was apparently good. I haven't seen it. You
It's
should probably
great.
Watch it.
I love it. It's one of my favorites, and then I read all the books. There's also been a couple other Netflix rom-coms that I very much enjoyed. But this one was the most ridiculous tropey, bad tropey, just garbage. So first off, they tried to make Sydney Sweeney like an awkward person, which is just impossible because she's just sex, she's boobs and sex.
She's sex appeal.
Like
She is boobs.
you can't make her be like, oh, I'm so awkward. Here's my breasts. Boo! It's stupid. So bad casting. If you want a girl next door, cast a girl next door. Don't cast the sexy.
That's,
one.
okay, wait, pause. Who would you have casted instead? Who's a modern?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Zendaya, I think could play awkward.
She's in everything though now.
Does your phone just?
Yeah.
say
almost-
My
it's
watch
almost
just
That
told
was
me the
Nick's
time.
watch.
It's
Okay.
9:37 p.m., guys.
No, not Zendaya. She's too big now. I don't know who I would cast off the
Maya
top of my
Hawke?
head. I don't know who that is.
Oh,
The
that's
girl
good.
from Stranger Things,
I haven't watched
Like
it.
the
11?
latest season.
It's too spooky.
She's
No.
She's
She
Uma
works.
Thurman's daughter.
Grown up.
And
What?
She what?
Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter.
Ethan Hawke is married to Uma Thurman.
I don't know if they still
Uma
are, but they had a
Thurman.
daughter.
Whatever her
Thurman.
name is.
Thurman. Anyway,
Yeah,
She's
sorry.
kind of got
we're
girl next door
derailing you.
vibes.
We're derailing you.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
guys
go.
always do. It's
We'll
fine.
fantasy book it later.
Fantasy
or-
book it
or
later.
Never.
So,
If
anyways,
you had one off the top of your head, that would have been
yeah, I didn't. Sorry, that's my bad.
worst podcast.
So these
ever.
two, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. I'm gonna do that.
Sydney.
I'm gonna do that 4 more times. They meet. They have instant chemistry. They spend the night together. They do not sleep together. They just talk and fall asleep. She sneaks out in the morning, and then she's like, "Wait, what am I doing?" And she starts to go back to go be like, "No, I really like this guy." But she overhears him being like, "Oh no, that girl's crazy. She's damaged. I would never be with her." So she storms off. Ugh, I'm over that guy. They then have mutual friends who are getting married in Australia. So these people have asked their friends to fly to Australia for their wedding, which is just ridiculous. That's so expensive and rude.
Were they from Australia?
No.
Why would they do that?
This guy's eyes are too small.
Glenn Powell, he's dollar store, Walmart brand, Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling.
Look
Boo.
how squinty he is.
I don't like
this man
him.
before
He's
in
a
my
bad actor. He's cheeseball. I don't like him.
She said, by the way, she said Glenn Powell, and in my head was Glenn
Colin Powell?
No, Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny.
Oh,
Dennis. Total wrong guy. Now
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
Yeah. So
I had the fucking day man in my head.
wow.
yeah. So shenanigans occur at this wedding. So there's one point where these two characters fall off a boat, right?
Oh, this is the part you told me.
They fall off the boat.
Eyes up, pay attention. This is crazy.
This is what's insane. So they fall off the boat, right? The boat can't turn around to come get them because it's too shallow. They'll run aground. Even though the boat was just there. It was just there.
Think of a single line. They're traveling
They're
on
in a
line.
canal. Going straight, and it's like we can't turn around and go get them.
Yeah, we have an A.
So does the captain just go, sorry?
Yeah, they call the Coast Guard. No, they call the Coast Guard to get them airlifted out. So they're sitting on a buoy in front of the worst CGI I've ever seen. They get airlifted out of the water, and then they start singing "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield.
They're singing it?
Yes.
No way!
That's his comfort song. So they start singing it while they're being airlifted out.
I don't want to watch this movie
I could
now.
interrupt you 17 times.
know.
Keep going.
So
I want to know what everyone's comfort song is after this.
okay. So the whole plot of this movie is driven because every other character besides Glenn Powell and Sydney keep overhearing fake arguments. So like the married couple will have a fake argument to make Glenn Powell do something, and then another set of characters will have a fake argument to make Sydney do something.
Gaslighting
That's
the
the
movie.
whole movie. So we're gonna skip ahead because this is gonna get long otherwise, because there's so many things that were wrong and bad. But
I just want to talk about the ending.
to
'cause,
go
oh my
get the
God.
girl. So anyways, they're at a wedding. They're at the wedding that they've come to Australia for. They've like slept together, and then something pushed them back apart again. So, you know, they had their moment of like, oh, we do like each other, but now they've fallen apart once again because, just drama. So they're at the wedding, right? And then Glenn Powell kisses another girl. I know. So Sydney leaves the wedding, you know, even though it's her sister's wedding, she's just like, I'm going to leave.
Guess where she goes?
She goes to the Sydney Opera House.
Because fuck it.
Because Sydney Sweeney.
Maybe
Sydney,
that's why
Sydney.
it's in Sydney.
My house.
Sydney, Sydney. This is my opera house.
Glenn realizes that he wants her. He doesn't want this trash girl he just kissed. So to go get the girl, he jumps off a cliff.
What?
I'm not kidding. He jumps off a cliff and tells them to call search and rescue.
For him.
Yes, for him. And he has search and rescue airlift him to the opera house.
Which,
To go
Why not?
get-
he uses search and rescue as a taxi.
Instead of just getting in a car
Uber.
or getting an Uber,
Walking.
he literally jumps off a cliff.
And goes, I'll take this $25,000 search and rescue bill.
Oh my
How
God.
big of a cliff are we talking?
Like
Like, does he swan
ridiculous.
dive? Yeah.
like swan dive, like would have probably hit a rock and died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You wish, dude.
I wish, because
That's how the movie ends.
here's the love speech. Here's the love speech that
like
we get,
Midsummer.
guys. So they're in front of the opera house. He's declaring his intentions, and here's the conversation. Glenn Powell, you called me a bitch. Sydney, you were acting like a bitch. I was acting like a bitch. If I'm not the one, I get it, but that would really fucking suck. So are you gonna kiss me now? Yeah, I am. That's the end.
Really? That's almost worth watching just to experience that.
I felt like
That's
I could watch
ridiculous. You called me a bitch. You were acting like a bitch. Are
I
you
was
gonna
acting-
kiss
I was
me?
acting like a bitch.
It's in the way that you
So it would, I wish it was you, but if it's not, that would fucking suck. So are you gonna kiss me? Yeah.
Yeah.
The end. Then they kiss.
Wow.
So is that the worst movie you've ever
romance
seen?
dead? Like,
Is what?
Is romance dead? Like,
It
have we
is.
tried everything at this point? Have we just exhausted
I
all
don't
of
know.
this stuff?
It's just
Like,
trash, right? Like
He's
nobody.
in some new movie with he's a murderer guy. He's a hitman, and
Yeah,
he
I think
does
it's called
different outfits.
Hitman. I'm not
Yeah.
watching it because I think he's not a good actor.
I've never seen him before in my life.
Me either.
He's bad.
He's in Top Gun Maverick.
The only thing I knew about them was that they were supposed to be in a relationship because of this movie, but that was just marketing.
To be fair, I've never seen anything of
Yeah,
her in it
and the
either.
movie is about like they're
I
fake.
recognize
She's
the name.
They're
in.
fake dating.
Shit.
Well,
was
she's
it?
in Euphoria as her big.
Well,
thing.
she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but she's like before it, she was big.
Glenn Powell was in Spy Kids 3D. Game over in 2003.
He was also in A Dark Knight 3 or The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, I'm not watching that.
He was a investment guy.
Scream Queens.
Stockbroker.
Devotion, apparently.
I think he works better
That's supposed
as
to
like
be
a
a crazy movie.
comedy.
He's starring in Hitman, which he co-wrote and produced. So this guy's a knob, huh? We don't
I want to know who
He
wrote
seems like a
the
knob.
movie she watched.
Hidden
It was
Figures.
trash.
She was in Hidden Figures.
What? I don't even remember him.
It-
We shouldn't
this was
care about him
the
because
astronaut ones.
that was
what else
the
is
3
Sydney-
black women who helped
Oh,
write.
he was the lead in
the
Hitman.
Code.
The Hitman, not like Hitman, like the assassin barcode bald guy after the video game, but the 2023 Hitman movie that he also wrote and produced. He's in the upcoming movie that's certainly going to bomb, Twisters, which has maybe the worst trailer of any film I've ever seen. That
Worse
movie,
than
I haven't
Here?
even seen it.
that movie is going to suck.
I've never
dude.
seen the first one, so I didn't watch the trailer.
I mean, I'm not going to either, but like, I'm in a Discord with a guy I've known for a long time, and he's like, I don't know if I've ever seen any movie marketed so poorly.
You haven't seen anything about it except that it's
Exactly.
called Twisters.
Exactly, and like,
I'm not gonna go see it.
If you watch the trailer, all of the dialogue is horrendous.
Well, it's a Glenn Powell movie, so scams.
It looks so bad.
I hate you, Glenn
And
Powell.
they're like the things that they're doing with their marketing budget.
You
are
called
like,
him a bitch.
They're like making a country album with like Luke Combs and Tyler Childers, like big country names. Maybe put some of that towards making sure people knows your movie exists.
Like the Luke Combs song is good. I
It's
like it.
really
Everything's just become content.
good. Well, but the Luke Combs song is good because Luke Combs wrote it, and the Tyler Childers song
Yeah.
will be good because Tyler Childers wrote it.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the movie.
No.
But anyway, we digress. That movie sounds terrible.
It was terrible. Don't watch it. Don't
Why did
listen
you-
to anyone.
Why did you finish it?
Don't listen to anyone.
Anyone that says it's good, they're lying. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to see how it ended.
And then when you did, I came out of the room here, and she was like mad,
I was really mad.
like fired, like you
And it was
started
only like an
talking-
hour and a half or so it wasn't a big time commitment.
Yeah,
You know, so it's like I'll see it through.
When is the last good romantic comedy you've seen come out?
Crazy Rich Asians.
That was 2018.
2018? So it's not too far in the past.
Well,
Remember Adam Savage saying that Crazy Rich Asians
6
was
years.
like hoping it would be a comeback for the.
there's been a
rom-com
few like the To All the Boys I Loved Before series is good, and those
Gay.
genre.
came
But it's
out.
a series. It's not a movie.
Well, it's 3 movies.
Okay. Sorry, I took series to mean television show. I don't know anything about it.
I don't think they're as good as
So
Crazy
do you
Rich
think
Asians.
Are they a
it's do you think it's a
trilogy?
dead medium, the rom-com? Like, can it be
No,
revived, do you
because
think, in the modern age?
The Fall Guy had some like rom-commy elements to it.
Well, but that's
That's more
another. That's
action.
another dead media though. Is the dumb summer blockbuster, like dumb action movie.
What's a rom-com?
I'm
that's-
wondering
I
if
feel like
we're-
Is
there's
it?
gotta have been one recently.
Fall Guy, or the
Dumb action.
yeah, Fall Guy
Dead.
flopped. Look at them all.
Yeah.
The ones that are succeeding are the ones that are.
They're
like,
getting made, but yeah,
That's-
for how much longer?
the only things that work right now are tied to other franchises. They're Marvel movies
Or remakes.
or remakes or sequels that no one asked for.
It's just no one going to the theaters, I guess, to
Well,
watch them?
yeah,
or-
no one's going to the theaters, and then like they're not letting things stay in theaters long enough to like revive themselves from the box office. Fall Guy was streaming like 3 weeks after it came out. Now it's rented; you have to rent it, and you have to rent it for like
The
$30.
movie theater
What
price.
was it?
Yeah.
Inside Out 2 did well, but
Inside
then that
Out
was
2
kind of
did
an
really,
original.
really,
but it's
really
also
well.
a cartoon.
It's a sequel.
A sequel.
And the Disney Pixar sequels often do really well. Incredibles 2 kicked
Yeah.
the shit out of the Incredibles.
Monsters Inc. 2.
Monsters
It's not
Inc.
a
2 did quite well. All
Toy
of the
Story
live
5
all the
now.
live action remakes do really well. It's like if you want to do well, don't be original and don't try to make a fun summer movie. I mean, look at The
That's
Machine. That
sad.
movie, granted, was terrible, but it flopped. It was awful. Fall Guy was fun. It was like almost Nice Guys level fun. And Nice Guys also
I
flopped.
love Nice Guys.
That
Guys
movie
is so good.
failed. We'll
That's
never get
unbelievable
another
to
one.
me. Like, I don't get. I mean, I don't think they
Is it
should make
marketing?
another one.
I don't know.
Because I don't remember hearing about Nice Guys.
I don't know. I
Or
genuinely,
we knew about
don't
movies.
know.
Really, it's probably a combination of
And
things.
there are things like I believe Regal is bringing their prices down. I think they're dropping prices. Like we should be able to go to the theater for $10. I think.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
but I don't know
now
how
it's
you
like
test
what?
that.
I think a popcorn is $10. It's
how
crazy.
do you test that if you're a theater? Like coming from a marketing side of things, with profitability is like my bottom line all the time. How do you test that? Are you really going to go to the CEO of AMC and go, hey, we need to cut our ticket prices by 40% and more people will come to the movies? Because will they?
Yeah.
But then again, you have people came in droves to watch Phantom Menace. That did insanely well. So do what the Marion Theater does and bring back classics on their anniversaries all the time and revive theaters. Give ticket bundles. Like, hey, if you come back and see a classic, we'll give you Fall Guy for 50% off. I don't know what it is. They tried it with the subscription thing like 5 or so years ago and then COVID hit and like ruined that. The like Regal Pass and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then they
Which that still exists.
yeah, but then they fundamentally changed how they worked and like doesn't work the same anymore. I think David still has one. He goes and sees movies all the time, but I'm also not a movie guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I
don't know.
I couldn't have
Movie
run.
guy just has a movie podcast.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I have one.
Yeah. At what
Yeah,
point
yeah.
can you not say
But
that?
I don't
that's
go to
hilarious.
the theater.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's been a few rom-com movies, like The Idea of You, that came out a couple months ago. That was
What
pretty
was that?
good. That one, it was Anne Hathaway. It was basically a Harry
Oh,
Styles
that's
fan
the
fiction.
young guy, older lady-ish cougar.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
that's
pop-
the trope. With like an older lady, which older is like
People
40.
like that one.
I think
Did
so.
you see it?
I liked it. I liked it better than Anyone But You.
But that didn't hit theaters.
No, it was
As
Amazon.
a Prime original.
So I don't
The
know. I still
ads.
have some hope.
Yeah.
They're not the same, but I still have some.
We're in a weird period where
there's gonna be like a
everything just hits streaming now. And it's kind of crushing
streaming
the
is
theater.
really.
I'm trying to go
fucked
to
everything
movies
up.
more. I've seen more movies this year than I have. Like in theaters, I went to see Challengers. We went to see Fall Guy. I went to see Inside Out.
Was
2.
Challengers good?
Yes.
I've only heard good things, but I don't know if I would like
You
it.
thought
It was
weird.
a lot more tennis than I thought. I went in expecting more sexy things, and it was more tennis than sexy
Okay.
things. So,
Right.
no, I still enjoyed it.
Because they market it as like Zendaya's going to have a threesome with 2 guys.
She does not have a
And
threesome.
then it's
Fun
a
fact.
tennis movie.
Yeah. Now the sound,
Okay.
like it was
I figured
like
she was using them to pit them against each other, and they were taking it out on each other with tennis.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's a tennis film.
It was good.
Okay.
I mean, it was good. It's worth a watch, I think. If you're interested in it. If you're like, I don't really care, don't.
I'm like,
Go out
next
of your
Did you
way.
have the wrong ear on?
He took his headphones off. I'm
I
done.
just scratched my ear and everything got
He's
complicated.
done being
He's
on this
like, I'm
podcast.
done. I don't want to hear about any more rom-coms.
I don't care about Harry
like
Styles.
tennis.
Holy cow, we've been
Yeah,
going
we
for
can
like
wrap this
90
up.
Okay,
minutes.
yeah. All
Well,
right.
hey, if you've stuck around this long, then join the Discord where we argued all day long about movies. And as usual, I was correct. So
I was.
We don't need. We're done.
We're good. We're good.
you were a little misguided. It's okay.
We were saying almost the same thing.
No, we weren't. You were just precious little nickel. Anyway, join the Discord. We talk in there all the time, largely about movies, sometimes about how much we hate the things that our local restaurant is doing to hot dogs. But come hang out. Follow us on everything. Tell your mom to listen to us. We're going to watch Jurassic Park and then a bunch of classic, sweet, friggin' summer Hollywood movies. I'm super excited for the lineup we have in July. So,
Yep.
hey, Jurassic Park next. Clever girl. We'll catch you in the next one.